beware of this frenemy. Okay, y'all, I had the sweetest dream. Yesterday about someone close to me, like finally finding love, like their divine partner finally coming in, them getting that divine union that they truly wanted. But like the moral of the dream was to keep your relationship private, right? To move in silence and to keep your relationship private. And the dream itself was beautiful. Like in the dream, this person meets someone, and, in the beginning, it was like a little bit of a rocky start because of distrust, because of things that this person has been through in the past. But like their new partner was so loving, so caring, so patient, right? That they kind of eased into it. And it's like it fast forward. Like in the dream, it was like a time span of like a year, or maybe even over a year. But it was like flashing forward. Everything was flashing forward. Like I was there and I saw them meet, and then I saw them go on their first date, and then I saw them go on this group date with friends, and then I saw them going on vacation together, and then they got engaged, and then I saw them get married, and the dream ended with them getting married. And like the person was so happy, like ecstatic, like just radiant. Like you could see the happiness in their glow. Like it just went beyond their face. You could see the happiness radiating in their aura, right? But even in the dream, there were like instances and things going on with the divine masculine in the dream. There was like an ex that like didn't want to let go. And of course, like once she found out that he had gotten married, she was like upset, showed up to the wedding, but like divine masculine put a stop to that before anything even got started. He put a stop to it, right? So that was that. And then like on the divine feminine's part, there wasn't anyone that interfered, but there were people that wanted to. Like there were people around this divine feminine that if they had known and if they had caught wind that this divine feminine was in a relationship, these people would have done things like get into her head. These people would have, triggered past emotions. These people, how like when you meet someone new, and if you've had certain circumstances that have happened in a past relationship, people tend to compare, and we know it's not right, but like right or wrong is not really on trial at this moment. It's just about how people kind of cope. So if you were in a relationship with someone who didn't really have the best intentions for you, and they behaved in a certain manner, or they had like certain mannerisms and things that they did, if you're dating a new partner and you see your new partner do something that reminds you of how your ex used to move, it's just kind of human nature to be like, oh, okay, here we go with this again, and to jump to conclusions. So like these are the type of people that if they had a caught wind that this divine feminine was in a relationship with someone, they would have like used things from her past, or they would have said things that would have caused triggers for this divine feminine to ruin this relationship. But because no one knew about it, and because divine feminine and divine masculine divine feminine, it was really an emphasis on divine feminine keeping the relationship private, because divine masculine was like taking divine feminine around his friends. They were doing group dates with his friends and their romantic partners, but it was really a huge emphasis on divine feminine to keep this relationship private, because you have some people close to you that do not want to see you happy. And like I was getting ready to do my dream in like a short. I was going to create a short for it, but I kept hearing like frenemies. And I just want to like talk about that for a quick second. Like I'm not going to make this video super long, but it was just giving the energy from the divine feminine aspect that the people who want to ruin your relationship are actually those closest to you. They are friends, and for some, they may even be family members of people. I'm hearing like smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Those backstabbers, like people who are jealous of you. But because of pride and because of ego, they will never admit that they're jealous of you. They would never be like, oh man, like I'm so like, I wish I, had XYZ or XYZ or, this, that, and the third. So instead, what they do is they hide their jealousy in like fake congratulations and like fake applause. This is like someone that if you call them on the phone and you're telling them all these good things about you, they go silent, or they may be like, oh, okay, good for you. But on the other end of the phone, they're like rolling their eyes, and they're trying to, anytime you call this person, I'm getting like, anytime you call this person with good, okay, I don't know why people do that. Like, but anyways, I'm getting like, anytime you call this person with good news, y'all will be on the phone, and then all of a sudden they have something else to do. Like, you guys can talk on the phone for forever, and if they call you and they have good news, they want to talk and give you every detail, and you guys are talking and you're telling them how happy and how proud you are of them, and you're congratulating them, and you're like sincere. But anytime you call them and you have good news, it's always like, hey, I'm busy right now, let me call you. Like, hey, congratulations, but I'm super busy right now, like, let me call you back. And then like that callback never happens. And they don't end up calling you back until either they have some good news they're trying to use to overshadow you, or until they have something going on. They're like, oh my goodness, I have this going on and I really just want to talk. And it's like, yeah, you never even called me back to finish the conversation that I wanted to have, right? But it's like heavy frenemies. Like, it's giving heavy frenemy energy. And like, just to like go off topic for a second, I never really understood that. You know what I mean? Like, I never really understood, because I'm the type of person where like, if I'm around someone and like their energy, like there's just something about them where I'm like, I can't put my finger quite on it, but there's something about this person where it's like, this person that you're like portraying to be is not the real you. You know what I mean? And there are some instances where like you might meet someone in like a work setting, and people have that thing where people are like, when they go into the office, when they go into work, they have to put on that they have to put on their professional hat, right? So sometimes you'll like meet somebody and you'll be like, okay, something about you is like, it's coming off a little phony, but it may just be that person has on their professional hat. And if you ever see them outside of work, like they're a totally different person, right? But this is not giving that. This is not giving like someone putting on their professional or their like educational hat. I don't know if you met them in like school or something. This is someone who is like walking around in a mask. This is someone who like, there's something about them that just comes off and you can't quite put your finger on it. It's because this person is wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. The person that they're portraying, and like I said, like you can tell, because this is someone who like always wants to talk about themselves. And if you ever want to like put the conversation on you, then anytime you start talking about anything, even if y'all are talking about like things that you've been through in the past, like past relationships or past jobs or past experiences, you might be like, hey, like what is your advice on this? And then you'll start talking about something, and before you even can finish your story, next thing you know, this person will interrupt and be like, well, I remember one time, and next thing you know, you're on them, and you've never even gotten a chance to get out like what you're trying to say. Like, this is someone who like wants to overshadow you. Like, they want to overshadow you. And I don't get that. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't. I get it because it's one of those things where when you're someone and you have a light about yourself, this isn't even like portrayed to anyone who's like extremely popular and outgoing. This is for someone who's like an introvert, for someone who's like, you've probably had people playing on your self-confidence on all your life, so you're like kind of quiet into yourself. So when you have people who kind of like play in your face like that, you don't really get it, or you tend to like pacify it or overlook it, because you're like, well, you're like, why would this person play in my face? Like, why me? Like you know, like what do you have to gain by playing in my face? But like, seriously, like, people can feel your energy and people can see your light. People tend to think more of you than you think of yourself. And that's just in general. You know what I mean? So like, this person, there's something about this person. It's like the exact opposite. Like, for you, there's something about this person you can't quite put your finger on. And it's the same thing for this person in the reverse. There's something about you that this person can't quite put their finger on, but they know that they don't like it. They know they don't like it. So it's kind of like that frenemy thing where they pretend that they really like you, and underneath, like, they really can't stand you. You know what I mean? And like I said, I really don't get that. Like, I really don't get it. And I've experienced that in my life and I just ignore it. I don't even feed it. I don't give any energy to it. For me, when I figure out, because eventually that person is going to do something. It's either going to be something small, or it's going to be like repeated small offenses, or it's going to be something big. But when the person does something and I'm like, oh, okay, like I see now that like you're not really looking out for me. You're not really in this for my best interest. I just cut ties and I go my separate way, and I let it be. I let it go, and I let it be. Right. But the thing to me that's so crazy is like how jealous, or rather how conniving, and it has to be a jealousy thing. It has to be, because I'm like, how conniving could you be to not like someone and sit there for days and weeks and months and like years? It's crazy how they had that thread going on YouTube when they were like, what was it? Tell me about a time when you found out that your friend wasn't really your friend. And some of these people that were going on there telling their stories had been friends with these people for years. Now, it could be a trauma bonding thing where when you guys met initially, the friendship was genuine, and at some point during the friendship, feelings changed, and this person no longer was fond of you, which in that case, just like go your separate ways, right? But it's crazy, like the amount of time that people will sit around waiting either to watch your downfall, or worse, waiting for that perfect moment where they can strike. You know what I mean? Or these are the type of people who have been like around you for all this time, and they've been doing little things and doing like little strikes here and there by getting into your head, by having you ruin relationships with people who could have been great for you. You know what I mean? By getting in the way. I'm hearing like by getting you to miss out on by getting in your head and having you double thinking or overthinking and missing out on opportunities, by telling you, you have this offer. Oh, that sounds too good to be true. If I was you, I would be a little weary of that. And next thing you know, you're turning down like these great offers. But like I said, like just to get back on track, because I don't want this to be like super, super long, but the dream was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. But like even in the dream, the message kept coming through as, Divine Feminine, keep this relationship to yourself, because this relationship is going to be abundant in so many different, we're not even talking about like just finances, although financial abundance was a part of this soul contract, right? It is written in this soul contract, but this relationship is going to be abundance, right? And finances and joy and love and laughter, and spiritual growth. This relationship is meant to be abundant. This is going to be an abundant spiritual union. But in order for this to come into fruition, you're going to have to keep this to yourself, because Divine Feminine, this is specifically for you. You have a lot of frenemies around you. You have a lot of people around you, both friends and family, that are smiling in your face, but I'm telling you, these people want to take your place, and they're not truly happy for you. They're not truly happy for you. And I'm getting like, if you want to figure out who it is, next time, tell them you have some good news, or even bring up, I'm hearing like, keep your moves in silent, even maybe bring up good news that you've gotten in the past that you just haven't told any, like a little silent win that you've had, something that's already happened, not something that you're working towards for the future, but like something that's already happened, and like watch how these people respond. You know what I mean? Watch how they respond. But yeah, keep this to yourself, Divine Feminine. This and any moves or plans that you are making going forward, keep it to yourself, because you have too many frenemies around you at this time. And until you can decipher who is who and who's really in your corner, Spirit just wants you to keep everything to yourself. But either way, I just want to tell you I just want to give you a happy early congratulations on this divine union once it finally does come in, because it's seriously, it's going to be a beautiful union, and you are going to be happier. The both of you, this is Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, you are both going to be happier than you've ever been. So congrats, and thank you for listening. Bye.